Good evening, fellow Exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist, and happy Filmaroo Month! The month where my avatar will stay in the form of everybody's favorite little Santa character, Potteroo. Now tonight we will be taking a look at gamers. Kita Amano, a high school boy and video game player, meets the beautiful school idol Karen Tendo, who joins the school's gaming club. Kita tries it out, but finds it's about competitive gaming, so he declines her offer. This rejection sets off a trigger of events in the lives of Kita and his fellow students in matters of both video games and romance, with no small amount of misunderstandings along the way. Now before we move on to my opinion, I'd like to just announce that this video is sponsored by Animal. So go buy yourself some amazing low-priced anime merch, including cute figurines, to brighten up your collection. And every time you use the code FILM, you'll get 5% off your purchases. And if you don't, I will have every demon of hell at your door tomorrow. So, go use the code now! Now, I think I love this romantic comedy the most because it hits so close to home for me as a gamer. Now, I'm sad to say that my love life isn't as fun as Amano's because I've dated 3 different girls who really didn't get me in the way that a fellow anime, movie, and video game fan would, which is probably why I envy him so much. Plus, I found a lot of the video game comedy and references to be pretty funny. And I also feel we've also learned one big lesson from this show, and that is, Bowser will simp over anyone, even a high school girl. But bad jokes aside, I really did connect with this show more than I did with shows like Kaguya-sama Love is War, because most of its plot lines do get resolved pretty quickly in some great ways, like the many love triangles in this show, and like I said, there are a lot of references to classic games. Like it mentions one of our main characters beating Bowser, or a background game that has a little similar to Metal Gear 2 called Love Gear 2, or there's the game called CSO, which is obviously Counter-Strike. There's also a lot of fighting games, and even this show's version of the Game of Life. Yeah, you know that's gonna get a whole lot worse for these characters if they play that game. Oh, and not to mention the amazing opening credits that literally jump from iconic game to iconic game, including Street Fighter, I believe Galaga, I believe there's also Mario Kart in there, so yeah. There's a lot, and if you can comment in the comments section any of the other references I've missed, go right ahead and tell me if I'm wrong if I said any of them wrong. So yeah, this show is literally just one big gamer's dream to the point that it rivals High Score Girl, another one of my favorite gaming anime. Now the comedy on the other hand is pretty funny, especially in the last episode, but I won't ruin it for you guys like I seem to constantly do, because Silva's always up my butt about it. Now, there is also the small problem of them completely forgetting about the Gamers Club after the first 3 episodes, and then they bring it back in 2 short scenes for some reason, and this seemed to annoy me the most in the show, because as I'm reviewing this year's after I first saw it, I kind of forgot what happened, and instead of looking at the cover, I kind of mistook this show for, and you thought there is never a girl online, because the summary literally talks about a gamers club, and it's barely a part of the show. Now again, this isn't that big of a problem, and I did enjoy the entire plot and show, but I just feel that if they're going to start with something, then they better continue with it till the end. I mean, where is the gamers club during the rest of the show? They can't just be sitting around in the wings waiting for them to finally get called in like a backup player for your favorite sports team that never gets to play later on until the last 3 minutes. Screw you, Manchester High School. I should have played more. I should have gotten more playtime during most of those football games. screw you. And the worst part is, for this show, we still haven't received a sequel or DLC, because sadly, for the company that created this show, it seemed to just be another one-off anime. Now, while I do really love this show, I do have a feeling that I must point out the very bad lip syncing, because it is very much noticeable.
Man, that was a lot of fun, huh?
Next match.
I'm a little wiped out. I think I'm gonna take a break.
Each time I hear one of the characters speak, I can't help but watch as their lips move right after they've started their sentence, and while it is one of the biggest problems of the anime, and it did bother me a lot, I will say that it wasn't that big enough of a problem to make me want to quit the anime at all. Now let's move on to the characters, starting with Kita Amano, the story's main character who loves any kind of game, even if it's bad, and he's really addicted to mobile games. I mean, this kid would even play the original Kingdom Hearts, which everyone says is terrible, especially for the gummy ship. Now, I haven't played the game yet. I'm gonna play it as soon as it's finished installing on my Xbox, but yeah, this guy will play any crap game just to see how bad it is. He's also sometimes arrogant, and he does make the wrong decisions a lot due to never really having friends, because most people do see him as a nerd and are usually annoyed that he puts video games first over everyone else. Now he also is very blunt during the show, especially when he rejects to join the Gamers Club twice, because he doesn't like playing competitive, and this is part of the reason why the Gamers Club does disappear from the show for a while. And honestly, if I was him, I would have joined up right away, especially since that club definitely seems a lot better than the one I joined at my college, which turned out to be full of a bunch of jerks. So yeah, this guy gave up a really good deal that a lot of us really don't receive in real life. Now, really, I can forgive him for most of his actions because I like him. I'm someone who has a lot of trouble making friends, and I do rely on video games a lot, and he does end up redeeming himself once he becomes friends with the fellow nerd turned cool kid, Uhara. Now, Uhara helps Amano find love, and he shows him that playing video games is a lot more fun when you play them with friends, while also pulling a lot of the strings in this show from the background, like an evil mastermind or villain, because he finds it a bit hilarious how our two main lovers don't know how to confess their love for each other, and one of them is literally your typical introvert, which is why he's my favorite character. Now, Urahara is the reason why we get a lot of these comedic moments, because while he is a bit of a jerk, he's also a really good friend that wants everyone to be happy, so he tries to constantly change the story to work for either side. So he's basically Cupid. But he also has to deal with his own problems, especially when his very cute girlfriend, Aguri, has a lot of trust issues, but since the reason for this is a big plot point, I'll leave it to you guys to figure it out as to not have any spoilers this time. Now to close out this section of the video, let's discuss the lovely Karen Tendo, who is Amano's love interest and the president of the Gamers Club, who wanted to recruit Amano because he seems to love video games as much as she does. And honestly, I wish we could have seen her interact with the Gamers Club a lot more, because I do love how passionate she gets during the first 2 episodes, but again, this is dropped because she has fallen for Amano, and now spends most of her time going on dates with him, and participating in one of this show's many love triangles with Amano and Chiaki. And no, when I say Chiaki, I don't mean the cute little shortcake from Danganronpa 2 and 3 the anime. I mean Chiaki Hoshinomori, this show's game developer, and tsundere. So yeah, the cast is pretty good, and I'd have to say that they're definitely my second favorite part of this show, next to the references and story. But there is one problem I can't ignore, and that is the lack of backstory for our 2 main lovers. I mean, we barely know anything about Amino's family and Karen's family, which is something I hope they would have done in the second season, but sadly, this show ended its run in 2017, and we haven't heard anything since, which makes me kind of mad that something like Kaguya-sama received a season 2, but this didn't. Damn you, anime gods, for bringing us this misfortune, like most good anime. Curse you! So yeah, for those who thought that the title of this video was a joke and Film could never like a rom-com because he said it many times during Kaguya-sama, Oretsuki, and Miss Ueno, well, that wasn't a lie. I do hate rom-coms, but this one is one of the few that I do like because it's not just another waste of time like Kaguya-sama. No, this one is a treasure trove of wonderful gaming jokes and a funny plot that works, which is why I'm giving the show a 9.8 out of 10 for the amazing story, awesomely funny jokes, and the great characters. But also, I had to take some points off for dropping the Gamers Club story until the first few minutes of the last episode. So yeah, if you're looking for a real rom-com, you better check this out, or I will hunt you down. And trust me, I know where you live. So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week for And You Thought There Is Never a Girl Online, the real Gamers Club anime. So have a great night, guys.